What's up, everybody? Reality Roommates here once again. We'll be reviewing every single
Yes,
episode of this
sir.
season. As you guys may know, I'm here with my co-host.
What's good, reality roommates? It's your boy Willie.
It's your boy IV. Let's get it.
Yes,
Let's do
sir.
it.
So now we left off last episode with Bowie Jane winning the HOH competition. She won the HOH competition. Huge shocker. Didn't expect it. I was hoping for Felicia to win after coming off the block, et cetera, the juice, the fuel. But she doesn't win. Bowie Jane wins instead, and she nominates Felicia and Suri to be safe. She didn't really want any blood on her hands, even though she's been ducking smoke all season. But
All season,
she
man.
she definitely didn't want no blood on her hands, and that leads us to this episode, the veto competition. So Felicia and Suri have a chance to get themselves off the block, and let's get right into it, guys. This was a Zingbot episode. This was the
Yeah,
episode where
Zingbot,
Zingbot
Otez
comes.
type.
Yeah, Zingbot OTEP competition. OTEP being one of my favorite competitions. But before we get to the
Yeah,
veto
same.
competitions, let's talk about how Jag and Matt wanted to backdoor Cameron and were trying to convince a lot of house guests were trying to convince Bowie Jane. But we actually seen Bowie Jane, stand her ground and just do what she wanted to do, which I did like. But even though I think what she did was kind of dumb. But nonetheless, everyone was trying to convince her, and we saw Jag and Matt trying to convince her. Mainly Jag pushing to backdoor Cameron, but Bowie Jane isn't going for it because Cameron was very loyal to Bowie Jane in the past, and that was until Jag has a conversation with Cameron, and Cameron talks about Bowie Jane a little bit, and Jag runs up to Bowie Jane because he has some ammunition, and he talks to Bowie Jane about how Cameron just talked to him, talking behind her back, etc., which kind of breaks the trust between Bowie and Cameron. So how do you guys feel about Jag wanting to backdoor Cameron, and Bowie Jane kind of now being on board before the veto competition?
Man, I honestly think that's worst case for Jag's game. Jag or the Minutemen. It's worst case for the Minutemen to go after Cameron because Cameron and Corey in America's eyes, that's enemy number one. And it keeps them, what I'm saying, laying low. It keeps them laying low. People not really thinking of them as targets. Because as you guys could see, once Cameron's kind of being thought of out of the equation, now Matt and Jag, their game's kind of being pointed out to everybody. So Cameron is really just that shield, the big target in the house that kind of keeps Matt and Jag kind of low key. But going for them, it doesn't benefit their game whatsoever. And it kind of just exposes that, they're playing a hell of a game right now.
I think that's a great point, Willie. I'm actually more okay with them making this move. I didn't like this move for Matt and Jag, but I'm okay with it. But you actually made some great points as far as like with Cameron out of the equation, it does put a bigger target on them, which I'm wondering, how they plan on maneuvering through that. But yeah, I didn't like the move as a whole because I thought that Cam was more valuable to keep. But it goes back down to these people simply don't trust Cam. He does not have the capital as far as longevity of trust in this game. He does not have that with them, and that's how he ended up where he's at right now. So I think it would have been better for their game to keep him, but I just don't think they had the trust that was needed to continue with the three.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely
Facts.
completely agree, and it sucks to see that Cameron keeps trying to rebuild trust, and no matter what, they're not going for it. And even the trust that he did build with Bowie Jane, we saw in this episode, because we are covering 2 episodes today. Forgot to mention that episode 29 and episode 30. We see that it does come to his demise. Bowie Jane end up really just betraying him. But let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Let's talk about the veto competition with Zingbot. Zingbot comes out with friendship and love, not roasting everybody. And then they go out to the backyard, and he's Otev. He ends up being Otev, and then he starts roasting people. How do you guys feel about the roast? But as well as how do you guys feel about the roast? Let's start there.
Absolutely loved it. I think I shot y'all a text while I was watching it live. I enjoyed it. some years Zingbot isn't as vicious as I need him to be, but I felt like this year was great. He even hit up Mimi. That's the first time I ever seen Zingbot zing somebody who was already evicted. That was great.
Yeah, that was great.
That was
That was funny.
I always feel like Zingbot is a way for the producers to kind of get back at the cast about little things that annoys the producers about the cast members. So
Yeah.
I dunked on Corey a bunch. I think Corey in America got a whole lot. But yeah, honestly, I loved it. My favorite zing was the end when he sung "America, America" to America and
Yeah,
Corey. Just
that was funny.
top notch.
Yeah, you gotta love Zingbot, man. Zingbot roasting everybody. You gotta love it. Comes once a season, so it's a refresher. And I kind of like how they did that twist with like Zingbot being Otev for that competition. I really enjoyed that. But yeah, just love Zingbot, man. Love seeing him roast the house guys.
Yeah, no, I definitely like Zingbot too, and I mainly like the OTEV more than Zingbot. The OTEV honestly is probably one of my favorite competitions, if not my favorite competition in the whole entire game. So yeah, I really enjoyed seeing Zingbot zinging people as OTEV. I like that little twist. And
Yeah.
yeah, but as far as the veto competition itself, we have, I believe it was Jag, Matt, Blue,
Alicia
Felicia,
Cherie.
Cherie,
Um,
you know, a lot of, not Cameron though, not Cameron and Corey, I believe. America was also in it, and
yeah.
we see that Jag and Bowie Jane were actually the final two, and Jag ends up winning the veto, and the episode ends. Episode 29 ends with a cliffhanger on if Jag uses the veto or not. Now, we already know what happened, but what do you guys think? Or what did you guys think at the time Jag was going to do? You guys think he was going to use the veto or not? And how do you guys feel about the overall competition itself?
I knew he was gonna use the veto. I mean, he basically begging Bowie
Yeah.
before that. So he set his mind to that, yo, I gotta win this veto. So we can backdoor Cam. Again, I don't agree with it, but he put his mind to something, so I kind of knew like he was stern on it. He was gonna get it done. So it wasn't a shocker to me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think this veto was going to get used no matter who won it except Cameron, and Cameron
Yeah.
probably too because he wanted Corey up on there. So I
Yeah.
definitely went into the comp feeling like the veto was going to get used. Now, as far as the competition goes, I have to note that Jag really showed his comp beast prowess because he did a very strategic thing by hiding all those pictures, and he like it was smart for him to think ahead, and I feel like that's how he ended up winning ultimately
Yeah.
because he was pictures to the side, knowing where all the pictures were, so that when they did come up, he'd be able to quickly find them.
Yeah.
So that guy is presenting to be very dangerous in these comps. The longer they let Jag linger, I don't know, man. He might be a candidate on 2 seats. Who knows?
For sure. Building a great case.
Yeah, I think Jag, it definitely was showing he was flexing a little bit, flexing his knowledge on the game as well as, because this is definitely something he probably was premeditated. But even if it wasn't, showing that he can win a competition physically, and that took, I guess, a little bit of mental, is definitely a plus. It shows that he can win if he wants to, and he really wanted to force Bowie Jane's hand, which I definitely liked. He needed something to get done with Cameron, and he went for it and forced another person's hand. So I really enjoyed that. Now going into episode 30, which was, we saw that the power veto does get used. Jag takes off Felicia, and Bowie Jane actually puts up Cameron. How do you guys feel about that move? Me personally, I think it was a big move on Bowie Jane's part. We actually see Bowie Jane she has some balls. You know what I'm saying? Granted, she was forced, but it shows that she didn't, just look for like an easy way out. Like, oh my gosh, Blue, go up, please. Like, she actually thought it through and kind of went for Cameron, even though I don't like how she was disloyal to Cameron. Yeah, Cameron was talking behind her back.
Completely disloyal.
At the same time, Cameron showed, like, I'm loyal to you. You know what I'm saying? He's shown that through his actions.
100%.
So Bowie Jane definitely got manipulated. But at the end of the day, I'm happy to see she's playing the game a little bit,
Yeah,
showing some balls,
course.
showing some moves, But how do you guys feel about it? Ivan, I see you making some faces. What's up?
I feel direct opposite of you as far as like this is not her showing she's playing the game, because here's why I say that. If this was her showing that she's playing the game, she would have stood fast with everyone and been like, "Yo, don't use that veto, else I'll put your loyal partner up because I want Cirie or Felicia gone this week. This is what I want. Y'all not gonna bully me into making a move." She got bullied into making this move
Yeah.
because going into this week, she had zero problems with Cameron. Cameron was her dude, her right hand man. They was super tight. She had no issues with him. I literally watched it evolve this week with them planting seeds in her head as far as like, oh, don't you not like how Cameron tells you what to do? Don't you not like this about Cameron? Don't you not like that about Cameron? And it just manifested into, yeah, you know what? I will put him up. And it's like, dude, how did it flip so quick?
Yeah.
So I felt like this was actually a cowardly move by Bowie Jane because, yes, in the moment, it seems like she's standing up, but you got to realize, okay, you're standing up against Cameron. He has nobody else in the house. So now, once he's booted from the house, you can fade back into the background. So that wasn't a big move. A big move would have been to take out someone like a Cirie or a Felicia or somebody who like may have a counterpart that's going to come after you. So now you're kind of in the game. Does Bowie Jane have anybody that's going to come after her after this week? No.
Nope.
Cameron, a house target. She's back, faded into oblivion. So, on one hand, this was actually brilliant for Bowie Jane's game. Even though she got forced into it, I will say that I will agree on you with you there. It was brilliant on her part because now she's back to being furniture. But I don't think it was a bold move because Cameron wasn't her target. She wanted Felicia or Cirie out.
I agree when you say it wasn't a bold move, but I'm just happy to see her make a move. I guess I'm just giving her too much credit for her making a move because she was playing very, very scary. And I guess you did bring up a great point. She could have been like, oh, I'll put up one of your partners. You know, if you guys really want me to make a move, I'll make that move. But so I guess that would have been more of a bold move, more of a an actual move. But instead, she did get bullied. So I guess it's not as bold, but it is a more bold move than she's ever made. So I will give her that. But Willie, what do you think?
Man, Bowie, bro. She got peer pressured into backdooring Cam and putting Cam up right after this veto. Really got peer pressured. And honestly, I just don't see like that BBIQ in her, man. Like Cam literally saved you for about months, like a month now. He's been saving you. He's been putting you, like, letting you know things going on in the house, things like that. Because Bowie doesn't have any real social game like that. She's been kind of out of the loop, basically like furniture, like Ivan said. He's been helping her out, and you think that that's the best idea for your game to put Cameron. It just doesn't make sense to me. And the fact that she got peer pressured and she's not thinking about her game, because obviously Cameron staying would be best for her game. So the fact that she got peer pressured into making the worst move for her game is crazy.
Yeah, because we got to make it clear here. Let's think about this real quick. Out of everyone in the house, who would have been more likely to bring a Bowie Jane to the final 2 seat? Cameron would have been the most likely candidate for that.
Yeah.
The other
I feel like everybody equally, though. I'm not gonna lie, because that's an easy win with Bowie.
Matt and Jag, their best bet, they're gonna take each other. Yeah. That's locked in. These two guys, they're taking each other.
I don't think so.
Corey in America, we already know where that's at.
But wait. I got a question. So you think if it's the final 3 is Matt, Jag, and Bowie, let's say Matt wins the final HOH, do you think he's taking Jag or Bowie?
I think he's taking Jag.
I think he's going to let Jag know that it's going to be a toss-up if me and you are both on the final 2 seats. I got to get Bowie because it's basically a guaranteed win.
I don't see that in them too.
I agree.
I mean, they were hugged up. He's crying about his disability, and Jag was consoling him and stuff like that. I don't see those two as that duo that does that at the end. There are, it does happen, but I just don't see that with those two guys.
Hey, I guess.
Yeah, no, I
Makes sense.
completely agree with that point. But speaking of
And then
those two guys,
taking Blue. If she wants to take a lame duck to the end, you're gonna Surreal probably just take a Blue. You know, she's cool. You know, that's Jared's girl. Whatever. I'll take Blue. Felicia. I don't think she's gonna take a Bowie Jane. Felicia can't stand Bowie Jane. She's got plenty other options she could take to the end if a Felicia makes it to the end. So that's what I'm saying. Like Bowie Jane, you've lowered your chances of getting to that seat, not increased them by getting rid of Cameron. She's not
100%.
into these other people.
Okay.
No, definitely agree with that point. Cameron's out the house, so Bowie Jane's essentially fried. I'm not looking. I hope she doesn't get the HOH again, or no, she can't get the HOH again. But I'm just done with Bowie Jane. I'm happy this week is done. Bowie Jane has done her damage. You know, to me, it was just a filler week in a way, cause like, yo, Bowie Jane's Bowie Jane, but she didn't even want to win the HOH, so this was like a careless HOH to me.
The fact
But
that she accidentally won that HOH is kind of
yeah,
crazy.
it's
But
like, but Matt and Jag are starting to become more of a threat inside the house, and people are starting to notice. Now, before Cameron left the house, he warned Suri about how Matt and Jag are running the house, and he went to Blue before that. Blue didn't really believe him, but after Cameron went up to Suri then goes up to Blue, being like, "Yo, he's bringing up some valid points, and I think that we should have our eyes set on Jag and Matt." And then Suri also has a conversation with Corey. Corey's talking about Jag and Matt. So Suri, she also said, man, this is perfect. Corey and America and Jag and Matt are they're going to want to fire at each other. And she could kind of, get in the shadows, which I think is a brilliant move for Suri and the best option for her in this position. And then according to who takes damage, whatnot, then she could, pick sides, et cetera, et cetera. I definitely think Suri, she's in a good position. Jag and Matt, they're in a good position as well, but at the same time,
people are noticing, man.
This season, we see so many times where the house guests are realizing if a person is comfortable. It's like an instant red flag. In other seasons, the people who are comfortable, they remain comfortable. It's like wait late till they find out, But this season, it's like you can't last a week or like max 2 weeks before people start noticing. Why are two people comfortable? Like if it's one person, it's like okay, they could go undetected, like a Bowie Jane or Nicole, usually, But two people, anytime this season, there's two people that are kind of like in the middle of a crossfire. Those two people put their guns down that are like shooting at each other. They put their guns down. Like wait, why are they chilling? Why are they not fighting every single time? And so people are realizing Jag and Matt, they're in a great position. No. We gotta shift the paradigm. We gotta make them the targets, which I definitely like about this season. No one is safe at all.
Yeah, nobody.
How do you guys feel about the eyes being on Jag and Matt? I definitely like it. I think Jag is more of a target than Matt because Jag is the one really talking a whole bunch, while Matt is just the one, being loyal. But how do you guys feel about it overall? Me personally, I think Jag and Matt need to chill out or hang their nuts, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, completely.
Either or for you.
It's like, yo. But if I was them, I would have just been like, yo, okay, they got their eyes on us. Or even if they don't know, now's the time, which I'm seeing Jag even talk about a little bit more. They need to be proactive. Yeah, we're getting Corey and America out. Are you with us or against us? And what? You know what I'm saying? Because playing this passive game is not going to get you to the end at this point. Everyone's just too smart. You know what I'm saying? There's no dummies in the game. I'm not calling Bowie Jane a dummy, but to me, she's like out of the game. She's getting evicted. Like it's just what it is. She's not winning this game.
For sure.
We're just calling it how it is.
Yeah. But everyone else is like they're just not gonna let anything slide. So we're at the point where Jag and Matt need to just let your nuts hang and do as you please. You feel me? Like, yo, you want Corey and America out? Get them out. Be like whoever, if they win HOH, go to Suri and be like, yo, you have to hang with us because we're getting them out. And if you're not with us, then, hey, we'll attack you next. Like, I don't know, do something. You feel me? But she's going to be in the shadows. But overall, how do you guys feel about Jag and Matt being the center of attention? Ivan?
Well, it's kind of like what we said earlier. They kind of brought this upon themselves a bit by getting rid of a Cameron who has been a physical threat this whole game by winning so many comps.
Yeah.
Well, now you guys are the next best thing.
Yeah.
So they brought it upon themselves, and that's where I go back to. Even though they've shown hella BBIQ, this is where I go back to what I said a few weeks ago, where I was worried about their BBIQ as far as knowing you can't get rid of all the imposing threats in front of you because you become the threat. So I think it was smarter to keep a Cam. But let's talk about where they are now. Cam is gone. So with that being said, I do agree with you. It is time to stop being passive, and that's a problem overall in this house. And it's kind of because, barring the Bowie Janes of the world and Blue, there has been a very, very high BBIQ this season. So everyone is kind of up on game, like you've pointed out, where they realize, like, hey, I can't let you get too comfortable, and let's also not forget, practically every alliance that was created in this house this season has been exposed.
Yeah.
So it's broken things up to a point where the most people coalesce at is more so duos or a trio. They won't get bigger than that because every alliance has been exposed in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So they're kind of weary of bigger alliances. So when Matt and Jag, I know that they've been trying to play passive, but like you said, this is the time to strike. But that's why this HOH upcoming is so important, because if they are on the losing end of that, somebody else may end up striking on them before they get the chance. But this is why, out of that duo, Matt and Jag, I put higher value in Matt because he is playing way smarter than Jag. And unfortunately, Jag doesn't see that he's playing for second place right now because he lets Jag do all the talking, like you said, all the dirty work. Matt plays good cop with everyone. So everybody does think Matt and Jag are a threat, but when it comes time to put them up, who's going to go home first? It's Jag.
Yeah.
So then Matt will have that chance to regroup like a Cherie did, and he'll be just fine. He might even pick up Cherie as his new ally and keep it moving.
Yeah.
Because he already has a great relationship with her. So Jag needs to slow down with being the man up front as far as making some of these moves, because now he is directly on their radar as a dangerous player. Matt's going to survive.
That's a great point about
Matt I agree.
Having kind of like a recovery line with Cherie
Mm-hmm.
and being good cop. That's a great point. Willie, what do you think?
First off, I love how Cameron wasn't being all bitter and salty and actually putting Cherie on game, like, yo, Matt and Jag, like, look out for them. Because, like, he already knows his game was over. So I loved how he wasn't bitter or emotional. He was like, you know what, let me sit down with Cherie. Let me let you know exactly what I see. Matt and Jag are playing everybody, et cetera, et cetera. They're one of the biggest threats in the house. So I actually really loved how he exposed that to Cherie. But like you guys said, I do think they were playing passively. Like, that was the smartest move up until this point right now. I feel like now is the time to be aggressive, assert dominance, and kind of just steamroll to the end. Now's the point to where you guys show the aggressiveness and be aggressive.
Yeah, no, I definitely completely agree. I do think Jag and Matt have to really play it smart from here on out and play aggressive for them to really make it to those final two seats. And Corey kind of trying to incorporate Cherie inside their plan, as well as Jag and Matt trying to incorporate Cherie, is honestly very smart. But we'll definitely see how it plays out in the next coming weeks. We do know that Cameron did get evicted indeed. Cameron's out the house. How do you guys feel about Cameron being out the house and being the first member of jury? Willie?
I mean, he played one of the best games this season, so it wasn't going to go unnoticed. I feel like eventually we kind of saw this happening. Like, come on, bro. Cam's a beast, comp beast. Nobody's just going to let him slide on to the end. It's like, if we could get him out now, we got to get him out. He's too good at comps, so it was expected.
Honestly, quick thought on that. I didn't expect him to get out this quick. I'll be honest. I thought he had about like 2-3 more weeks. I really did. I really thought he was gonna be like final 6-5. You know, like, because it seemed like he genuinely was trying to rebuild with Matt and Jag, but Matt and Jag really just wanted to clip him early, which I can't blame him because he's such a strong competitor to the point where it's like, the longer you keep him in, like, the stronger he gets. You might as well clip him the second you get, and the way Jag pulled it off was brilliant.
He's too strong a competitor. Like, once you get that shot, you got to take it. You get that chance, you got to.
Yeah, RP to Killer Cam. He played, like Willie said, he played an incredible game this season. Honestly, I know a lot of the fan base hated him for different reasons, but I really enjoyed the chaos that he brought to the house. The only thing I didn't like is that he got out Izzy, one of my favorite players this year. But besides that, Cameron really brought entertainment to the house, and he was a great villain. He took up right after Heisem left. He took that villain mantle and ran with it. I think Matt and Jag, if they don't win this game, they're going to regret this move. It just depends on if this turns out to be the thing that propels them to the final 2 chairs, or if this is the thing that is before their downfall. Because truthfully, they could have easily made a 4 with Bowie, Jane, and Cameron this week with Bowie, Jane in charge. Truly took out Corey, and then who do you got left? You four people can steamroll at that point as far as competition. But I just don't think Matt and Jag wanted to take that chance with Cameron due to how his personality was. It wasn't really anything other than his personality that kind of became his downfall, because people just didn't vibe with him for whatever reason. And it happens. BB is a social game, so we got to be aware of that. And yeah, it just wasn't in the cards for him. But I think he made his mark. He's going to be one of the most memorable players of the season for sure.
Yeah, man. I want to see him back in a future season, man. Absolutely. I'd love to see Cam back.
Absolutely. Killer Cam definitely brought some great moments this season, and especially just his comeback, his relentlessness to keep like playing in the game. And even now that he's gone in the jury house, the fact that he still gave Sari, those notes to follow moving forward, it's like his game's still living on even with him outside that house, trying to help. Okay, if I'm not going to win it, Sari, it better be you, So I definitely like that. Now, towards the end of this episode, we see that there's going to be a new HOH, but it's going to be an invisible HOH. Ivan, you can get more about that, as well as talk about the crystals that were at the end and all that stuff.
Yeah, so the HOH this week apparently is going to be, they're going to have the power of invisibility. So what I'm guessing is the HOH is going to be kind of like a silent HOH where you don't know who the HOH is.
Yeah.
What I'm hoping is, and sometimes players in the house, they ruin the twist by revealing like, yeah, I got the power. I'm hoping this isn't one of those weeks. Whoever has that power, keep it on the hush. For instance, if I was like Blue Kim, right? Let's say Blue Kim wins this. I would use this and cause terror in the house, because I would put up Matt and then I would put up Corey, just so that they're freaked out of like, who has this power? Who's doing this to us? I would just make the first 2 noms random as hell. Like, definitely make them people that I want out, but like 2 people from opposing sides that I don't care for, just to keep everybody on their toes as far as like, yo, who has this power?
Well, I feel like they'll know who it is at that point. Like, if they put Matt and Corey, it's few people to really say it is. It's most likely Blue.
It's Felicia, or it could be Blue, or it could be, who knows?
It's true. That's true.
Very, very good
Spices
idea.
Things
honestly.
up.
Like, if let's say an America wins it and she does put up like a Corey, I don't know. I know it sounds like it's out of my imagination or whatever, but I think it's definitely would have been like, okay, America's here to play. She put Corey up and like a Jag, get 2 strong male figures out. You know what I'm saying? Propel herself even more. Like, just stuff like that. Something very interesting like that would definitely make the game a lot more interesting, and they'll see who's willing to really let their nuts hang and play this game for real. Now,
let's say
with no blood on your hands potentially.
Throws Jag.
With who?
Let's say Matt gets it, throws Jag up.
Yeah, something like that. Like, yo, I'm
Be
trying to
good.
win.
We're gonna have to see who's good at lying, man.
Yeah, that too, that too. But
Yeah.
Definitely.
nonetheless, let's get into Ivan. Come on now, let's get into who's in the best position, who's in the worst position, and yeah,
Let's
let's
do
get
Yeah,
into it.
it's tricky right now. It's down the wire. It's down
I,
the stretch,
I
man.
don't
Fourth
mind going
quarter.
first unless one of y'all got yours.
Now you go ahead, go first. I got to think.
All right, now in the best
It's fourth
position,
quarter, man.
I would have to say. Actually, let me go with the worst position first. Okay. In the worst position, I would have to say, man, it really honestly just depends on either Corey and either Corey or Jag. And I can't choose between the two because it depends on who wins that HOH. It really, really does. But no matter what, those two are going to be at the forefront. I
Yeah,
believe,
yeah.
let's say Felicia wins it, like a person who kind of on the outer side. If Felicia wins
Mhm.
it, Sari and Felicia are gonna talk, and Sari's gonna be like, "Yo, be smart. You could get out Corey or Jag." She gonna mention one of them names. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Or same thing with Blue. Blue winning it. Sari gonna have that talk. Yo, either Jag or Corey. Same thing with herself if she wins. Jag or Corey. Like it's just no matter what. America's not too much of a threat, and Matt's too nice of a person, like too good with everybody. So the only two people are Jag and Corey. It just depends on who wins the HOH. But if it's them two, then man, we could see Felicia and Sari back up again. Or Blue actually, or Blue. You never know. But
True.
mainly Jag and Corey. Now from the best position, I would have to say is Sari. Sari is in a very good position
Oh,
now.
for sure.
I don't
For
think
sure.
anyone in the house is really gonna target her. Bowie Jane, even me's talking about her even more, kind of like it's like, oh man. But
She's not even competing.
yeah, she's not competing, so no matter what, Sari is gonna be safe. And yeah, that unless Sari does something very dumb in the next coming days, but I doubt it because she's very calculated. But yeah,
Agreed.
that's my best and worst.
Agreed. Best position is for me, Suri. I mean, she's kind of playing. I wouldn't say playing both sides, but she's kind of on both sides now. She's good with Corey. She's good with Matt and Jag. So I don't see anybody really. Maybe as a pond, but like
Maybe.
other than that, yeah. Other than that, I don't see anybody really targeting Suri. And in the worst position, honestly, I'm gonna go Jag. I'm gonna go Jag and Corey. I'm gonna go Jag and Corey. I feel like uh each side, I feel like they would take either they would go for Jag or the other side would go for Corey. So I feel like yeah, those two are in the worst position.
Okay.
What about you, Ivan?
All right. For me, I'm going to start with the worst, and then we'll go to the best. So
Yeah.
the worst position to me is Jag, and Jag alone. Because I'm going to tell you guys why I don't think why I don't think Corey's in the worst position. So the reason I feel like Jag is in the worst position is because people are truly finding out this week, especially, and a bit of last week, that Jag is convincing. He can persuade people.
Mm-hmm.
He can change their minds. From when Cam told Sari, "Hey, I was going to backdoor Corey, but Jag begged me not to." And then we all know Jag is the one that put the battery in Bowie Jane's back to get out her own person. So people are peeping that, Jag is dangerous. And not only that, he wins a veto that same week. So you got the power of persuasion and you're a physical comp person. You know what I'm saying? So with those two things in mind, anybody but Matt and Jag winning that HOH is going to have Jag in mind, especially. So that's why I think he's in the weakest position. As far as Corey goes, I feel like Corey still has, and y'all know, I want Corey out this house, but for some reason he has the wool over these people's eyes, and they just think he's cuddly, nice Corey. I know everybody says they want him out, but when the numbers start dwindling the way they have been, I feel like people are going to prioritize people who can win comps and who are physical threats. Even though I feel like Corey can win comps just like anybody else. But I
Oh, for
feel
sure.
like early in the house, the perception is Jag and Matt can win comps. That's scary, to these people in the house. So I feel like because of that, Corey is not as high up on the threat chart. Unless Matt and Jag win that HOH, then who knows what's going to happen. The second weakest, in my opinion, is Blue. And why I say Blue is because Blue is in a category where, let's say, for whatever reason, because I mean, remember last week we didn't think Bowie Jane was going to get rid of Cam. We was throwing all sorts of names out, but Cam was like the last person on our list. We actually were saying Cam was the strongest person in the house. So we don't know if these people will actually, have a pair and do what needs to be done this week. We might walk into something where they're still trying to be passive. So if we walk into a passive week, you know who's the best person to get out in a passive week? Blue Kim right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I think she is the second weakest next to Jag. If the wrong person gets HOH and just doesn't want to make a scary move, I guess I'll get out Blue Kim. So for the strongest, I'm going to go with not Cirie, because I feel like Cirie is also in danger of just being a random pawn. But I'm just going to put up Cirie. So I feel like the safest person in the house is FBJ, Bowie Jane.
Yeah, but I feel like that's
no, bro, no,
that's
no,
every
no,
week.
no, no.
That's every week, man.
Bro, can you
Bowie
that's
Jane's furniture,
weak,
bro. It's
Can
every
you
week.
actually
Who's
choose
gonna waste a
somebody
week
else?
on her?
Choose somebody else, bro. That's like too obvious. Obviously, she's gonna go back to not doing anything. So like,
I mean, that's the question. Who's the safest, bro? So Bowie Jane. That's facts.
you're talking about
But
a person who has 0% chance of winning this game.
If we're not talking Bowie Jane, then I'm gonna go with another surprising pick as the safest and strongest of the week. Felicia. Felicia ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah, for sure.
Because Cameron was her number one person for whatever reason. This dude really wanted Miss Felicia out. Nobody else really cared. Everybody was just like, Felicia, we can get rid of her anytime. But not Corey. Cameron was like that only guy that was like, no, I want Felicia out.
Which is so dumb. He had a chance to get out Corey, and we saw him kind of like, yo, I should have got out Corey. Duh.
Right.
Yeah, he sealed his own fate.
Yeah, like
he literally sealed his own fate, packaged it in a bag, a box, and just gave it away, bro. Like he sealed his own fate, bro.
Jag might as well have told him right after he didn't use the veto that, hey, we're gonna get you out next week. You're cooked.
Yeah, like this man.
Bro, he sealed his own game, man.
So yeah, I think Felicia is in a marvelous spot now because nobody has problems with Felicia. The only person that had a problem with her just walked out the house. She's good with everyone. She feeds them, cooks food for them. She's chilling. She ain't going nowhere for guaranteed at least 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Okay.
It's definitely valid. Man, so we all
Big brother, man.
Yeah, we all man, this season has been a great season. So many twists and turns.
Yep.
Man, I mean, a lot of our players are still in the house right now. Definitely let us know what you guys think. Comment down below. Let us know. We'll be commenting back to every single comment. Hit the subscribe button. Like the video if you like the video. And we will be, going over every single video of BB this season. So make sure you guys stick with us. Stay tuned. Follow us on all social media platforms. TikTok. I know we're on there. And, yeah, man, we are Reality Roommates, and we are out.
Peace.
Peace.